55 minutes. Ooh. Ooh. My phone's feeling nice today. Okay. What's up, YouTube Nation? It's your boy, Jesse James. Alright. We left off at page 91. And that's my little monster super. Chapter 2. Where do we leave off? Oh, there it is. Okay. The mythical vampire, the campfire legend, Kage has just been captured. Perhaps a gruesome death awaited him. The remaining black dragon swore Kanbe killed old Japan. Any reason was found, and at the same time, no reason was needed to hate Kage. After all, he was one of the new students of the Nameless Shadows that helped the Emperor cut funding almost in half for the Igarayu. Some fancy new style he created called Dragon Style, the art of many mouths. 2 hours passed and he finally began to wake up. Vision was still blurry. The room was bright and his head hurt. It felt like it was spinning. He sat up. He looked at his hands. What's this? Where am I? Focus. Vision focused and hearing returned. Good. He quickly scanned the room as his senses returned. Was I drugged and flown back to Japan? Paper and wooden traditional wood doors, bamboo flooring, training swords, nunchucks, bamboo dummies, and the strangest thing was a man, probably late 70s, sat in a chair staring at him. The man had a thinning white hair and a round face. The bluest eyes he'd ever seen stared back at him intensely. He wore a clean-pressed black business suit and a black cotton bandana that was flustered with golden stitches. Japanese symbols for wealth, power, and balance. Where am I? Who are you? You are in my dojo, dear boy. As far as who I am, I won't expect you to remember me. Your English is quite good. My goodness, look at you. You all grown up. You've all grown up and haven't. You've all grown up and haven't changed a bit. How has the American life been treating you? Page 92. It's good, I guess, and thank you. I took a couple college classes for English. Who are you again? The man smiled. Always the go-getter and achiever, even in another country that is not your own. I'm so proud of you. Look, person, you obviously know me back from Japan. State your answers. Trust me, you wouldn't like me when I get angry. The man laughed. You're still that small firecracker that always got in trouble with the shopkeepers. My golly. If your parents knew how much trouble you got into, they'd blow their roof off. Just a little ninja. Fun is what you told your friends. You were 18 years old, but still a child in my eyes. When you were taken from Japan with your uncle. A soft and sweet voice, but one that held authority and respect. Why am I chained up?
What you doing, Chap?
Because it was the only way I could keep them from killing you, my dear boy. Kanbe's eyes widened and a flashback spiked. But Dad, I don't want to learn ninjutsu. He crossed his arms and huffed. Kanbe Halamakri, you are already enrolled. You're starting at the Nameless Shadows dojo tomorrow, and that's that. Fun stealer. Tomorrow rolled around. Con, come on, son. It's 7 in the morning. Up, up. He rolled over in bed and hugged his Godzilla plush toy. 5 more minutes, Papa. No, son. I've already made you breakfast. Come on. He walked into Kanbe's room. Come on, get up, Simba. Haruto shuffled Kanbe's hair. Kanbe hated that. I'm not Lion King. Stop. Get up then. Fine. He flicked the covers off and sat up. He instantly caught a whiff of the bacon eggs with a side of brown rice. Is that for me? He asked, smelling the air once more. Yes, if you get up, my little Simba. Growl. Kanbe growled like Simba did in the movies. Stretch them paws. He stretched his arms up tall. They walked in the kitchen and Kanbe sat down as Haruto walked over and poured himself a glass of coffee. Where's Mama? She left for the grocery store an hour ago. As Haruto brought the coffee to the table, he began to explain that Kanbe needed to be respectful at all times. It's not the typical schooling. 15 minutes passed and Kanbe got up and collected his plate and his father's mug. Don't worry about the dishes. Finish your orange juice and go get dressed. Thank you, Papa. That was delightful. Oh, it was, wasn't it? He chuckled. Yeah, and my tummy says thank you in tummy language. Go on, my little Simba, he said between laughter. It was 8 a.m. when they reached the school. It was a large red structure. It had a sign that spoke Nameless Shadows Ninjutsu for gifted youth. I have to get to work now, but remember, Kanbe, that's the Emperor that's teaching. Remember your no sirs and yes sirs. Yes, Papa. He kissed Kanbe on the head. I love you. Be good and don't worry. I bet you'll have fun. Be strong like Simba. Kanbe puffed up his chest. Right. That a boy. He trotted onto the polished wooden steps. He placed his hand on the door and looked back. Off with you now. Go on. Haruto turned and began walking away. Kanbe opened the door and disappeared. Greetings, young man. What's your name? A man who sat pretzel-styled on the mat must have been the sensei. Suddenly, Kanbe became nervous. He lost his Simba composure. Don't be frightened, dear boy. It was simply a simple question. Simplistically. Kanbe Halamakari. Ah! Haruto's son. Your father's a good man, best in the royal guard. Class, this is your brother. Welcome him. Holy shit, it's cold in my room. Whew. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So cold in here. Alright. Hello, Kanbe. Welcome to class. Page 94. Yeah, page 94. Emperor Raiden Lee. I thought you were dead. I saw your... Oh. This is phasing out of the... flashback. Emperor Raiden Lee. I thought you were dead. I saw your palace burn with you in it. Even on the boat, I watched the fire consume half of the Koguryu province. All these years after father died, I thought I lost everyone important. I'm sorry, my dear boy. You were the star of my school. Why do you sound so sad and depressed? My dear boy, he's still as innocent as I remember. I have done a few bad deeds, probably not worthy of forgiveness, but I did it to secure our race as humans, to eradicate sickness from this world. I have gained the power to reverse death. Wouldn't you like to see them again? With a very confused look, Kanbe said, Grandmaster, what are you talking about? No one can change the natural way of life. Sickness, what? Grandmaster, what are you talking about? You're scaring me. What are you talking about? I sold my soul to Satan, and he promised to help me. He said he'd bring death to its knees to stop eternal pain if I helped free him. What? Who is Satan? Kage phased his hands through the cuffs, and he grabbed one leg and phased that through, and then phased his other leg through. Then he stood up and dusted himself off. Grandmaster, you are making no sense. Zero sense. The way you're talking is scaring me, so I'm going to leave. This is a lot of information. No, wait. I could show you the power I'm talking about. Kanbe stepped back and shook his head. I don't know what you're gotten into, Grandmaster, but I'm going to leave now. You're acting strange. You've changed. Oh, my dear boy, stay a little bit longer. Let's catch up. Goodbye, Grandmaster. A explosion of air knocked Raiden Lee to the ground, and Kage was gone. Till next time, Kanbe. a little freaked out of all this doomsday talking Emperor Raiden Lee was doing, Kanbe had to flee. There was something strangely different about him, a dark death energy. Page 95. Emitted off of him. The worst part, he left with no answers, only more questions. What did it mean? Within a minute, he was home. He threw his hat down and rubbed his forehead. What's going on? First, I get the vibe and the stench of the black dragon, but that's not possible because they were killed in the fire. My boat was the last boat that left. Then, come to find out, that the Grandmaster is still alive? Like, what? He started pacing back and forth, talking to himself, trying to clear his head. How is he still alive? I mean, he is the Grandmaster, but still, why wouldn't he have tried to get in contact with me? And don't even get me started on that thing, that monster, whatever it was, that first night. Oh man, my brain hurts. I need to go meditate on this. He sat down on the floor and recollected the experience. One of the floors had a wall-to-wall glass window with a metal door. Inside was money-counting machine. Large men with AK-47s in their hands. Another floor had white blocks being stacked in shrink wrap. No, Grandmaster. No. Grandmaster has started a mafia and has lost his way of Japan. He has lost his family ninjutsu roots. He's thinking back of the floors that he ran through when he was looking to see what was up with bydel and bysel. The more he thought about this, the more it angered him. You're telling me he faked his death to come to America to sell drugs and become a low-life thug? This is very dishonorable and saddening. What happened to the two swords, one family? As blood, we will stay true to our roots. As family, we shall always have our brothers and sisters back. Two swords, one blood. We are nameless. We are hidden. We are Kogoryu, nameless shadows. A creed of which many have died by. A creed his father and his mother had died by. All for a sensei, emperor, who now became a spineless thug, who turned his back on the creed. Disobedience to the creed was death. His mind thought at hyperspeed as he looked up this Satan character, who the Satan character was. One of the first angels given the gift of free will, then decided to go against God, and he tried to take the throne of heaven. The computer screen illuminated the room brightly. Lucifer lost and was cast out of heaven. Saddened with grief, God made a place called hell and sent Lucifer and a third of the angels that decided to side with him to hell. During his fall, his wings were blackened. Page 96. His heart with hate. For many centuries he caused death, famine, and disease. He was anointed with the name Satan, which meant the Black Angel. Many years, hate finally corrupted his mind, and then soon his body. morphing, changing, transforming him from angel to abomination, part man, part goat, part bull, and part stingray. Kage paused for a minute to catch his breath. My goodness, this is a lot to read. Even in super speed reading. Is there really this much information on this cat? Excuse me. Fueled by his hate for his heavenly father, he began to hate all things good, which included mankind. He took a moment. Sounds like a real jerk. All this God wanted to do was simply hear music and live in harmony and create an awesome world together. Kage paused and thought some more. Why help this Satan figure? It sounds like all he cares about is causing evil and creating corruption. He began to read 1,000 websites on the topic. Skimming quickly, he read myths and legends. One about crossroad deals, and one about crossroad deals. A desperate mortal would go to a four-way street and stand in the center to summon the demon. Once summoned, Satan would give some of his power to the deal-making demon, just enough to grant the mortals his or her wish. Before the demon and the human signed the deal, the wisher had to sign a contract for their soul. Most thought it was just collateral, that they would get it back later. But when Satan was ready to collect his dues, he summoned creatures of nightmares to go retrieve his souls. Hell sent various creatures to do the bidding. More times than not, they were dog-shaped beasts of nightmares, sent to rip the crossroads wisher to shreds, inch by painful inch. Kage shuddered as he read about the hideous dog-like creatures called hellhounds. No way this thing is real. Sounds like a sci-fi fantasy novel. He read a couple other sites. Alright, I think that's enough lore on this Satan guy and how he works. The real question was he scouted an entire 15-story skyscraper and even slowed down enough to trip the motion sensors on the steps. No security appeared, yet I get to the 15th floor and I get attacked by other ninja and gassed. What's so special about the 15th floor? Why is it so guarded? Why is it so heavily guarded? Page 97. Who were those ninja? He thought aloud as he sighed. I'm growing tired of this building and its secrets. Got some creepy skeleton robed thing crawling out of the ground. The air around the building feeling like it's a constant funeral of sadness. Men who are tattooed exactly like the Igarayu Black Dragon, but possess no ninja training, nor smell like a ninja. The Emperor still lives. What in the actual blue hell is going on right now? Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., down in the Geckos Cove pipeline, the tournament got a little smaller as cats were getting knocked out of the tournament left and right. Day in, day out, the racing tree dwindled. Johnny crushed his opponents one by one, but there was another racer by the name of T-Rex. No other names were known. T-Rex was on the other side of the racing tree, killing the competition just as quickly. Eventually, T-Rex beat the last riders on his side of the racing tree. T-Rex learned his amazing driving skills from his drug kingpin days, where he was forced to learn fancy driving skills to prevent him and his crew from being arrested. Being he made it to the top of the tree, he was dubbed champion. A couple of days passed and Johnny made it to the top of his side of the tree. Ladies and germs! Spotlights flicked on and anthem music began to play. Biggie approached the center of the pipeline using his best ring announcer voice. For the race you all been tiresomely waiting for. The champion versus the contender. Without further ado, we take you to your special event without commercials. Screw those commercials. Light chuckles murmured through the pipeline. Watch this video, gonna have commercials now because it's almost an hour long. Filthy commercials. Those peasants! Sorry. Light chuckles murmured through the pipeline. Biggie was feeling extra playful today. They could tell through his energy he put through his voice. And now, racing to the top of at 32 wins, our contender. The baddest import racer, your favorite NASCAR driver. He's rocking a tricked out 09 limited edition Nissan Skyline. You know him, you love him. Ladies, he's single. He winked. Scorpion. I can't wink or shit, my bad. Scorpion, Johnny McCartney. Cheers erupted as he pulled up to the starting line. He revved his engine a bit. That's not what a Skyline sounds like, but you know what? It's okay. All right, page 98. This is a big boy. Y'all need to pause the video, go to the bathroom. Whatever you need to do. Get yourself a snack, get a blanket. Whatever. Yeah, Johnny. Woo-woo! Last race and that money's yours. The league has took a major liking to Johnny in the past month, mainly because of his fun and laid-back, fluffy personality. But a part of it was the unique way he drove. On the right side, our champion. On the right side, our champion, a man of respected status among his underground peers. Excuse me. Our former Drift King, coming in hot with 67 wins. He's mean, he's lean, he's got a venomous bite. T-Rex with the 1969 fully restored 450 rat motor injected Shelby Cobra. A bunch of phones went off playing music from the scenes of Jurassic Park. T-Rex, T-Rex, the meanest dino on the block. Shred 'em, T. Flames exploded from the tailpipe. The body rocked side to side. It roared again. Shit, I'm racing that? The king of muscle cars? He said quietly. A man in the driver's seat shrouded in mystery. The only thing the league knew about him is he used to be a high roller of some sort, and that he actively avoided any law enforcement or any agency, alphabet agency. The fact that he had a strong sense of fashion and his massive knowledge of and love for old cars, particularly American muscle. His appearance gave off a strong boxer fit aura. He had a strange obsession with skulls and flames and crossbones. He was the second strongest dude to Biggie in the league. But that was a window's glance. T-Rex never spoke of his real name or what he liked. All of that, and it seemed he had a much larger story to tell. He seemed to have an unnatural level of hate towards the police. Made the league think somehow the 5-0 did him dirty. Sure, we'll say that. Real dirty. The police knew him by a different name. Biggie paused a moment as he cracked a can of ginger ale open. He opened it at this. He looked up at the sun in the distance, slowly lying down its brilliant orange body on the horizon, illuminating its warm touch across the land. A gentle gust of the night wind blew through Biggie's silky, smooth hair. Silky smooth. Biggie sipped a sip. He sipped a sip. Alright. You will lap around the White House, cross Chicago streets, decommission railroad tracks, and on the third lap, you're going to cross the George Washington Memorial Bridge, pass the track and lose any heat, make it back here. It will be a Polaroid photo finish. Page 99. 99. I got 99 problems and you ain't one of them. Sorry. Focus. It will be a Polaroid photo finish. Your TomToms are equipped with a dash cam so we can see the race and I can monitor for any dirty racing or cheating. He stopped. He didn't step. He didn't step anywhere. He stopped. He stopped and took another swig of ginger ale. Slurp. Canada Dry, not Schweppes. Let's get that clear. Schweppes is nasty. Actually, you know what? He can drink whatever ginger ale he wants to drink. Me personally, I'm Canada Dry. So. Alright, boys. $2 million is the grand prize. A lot of people had to lose for you to get this money. $2 million race with only nitro and your driving skills. Good luck. A girl in a Led Zeppelin t-shirt and jean jacket walked over and gave Biggie two white checkered flags. Thank you, Autumn. T-Rex leaned out of the car. Hey, pretty boy, you know 30,000 people die every year from cobra bites? I'm going to make you 30,001. He sat back. The body rocked back and forth. The rims were many skulls that made up a 3-point chrome rim. That was one of the creepy things about T-Rex that creeped out most of the league, especially Biggie. His creepy obsession with skulls and crossbones. The midnight black paint job was complemented with a flaming skull on the hood, and then the flames were a toxic waste green. A laughing skull and the crossbones were on both sides. Green neon lights glowed menacingly under the car. The stick shift was a skull with ruby red eyes. It could shift up to 4 gears, maxing out at 390 miles an hour. Lord Jesus. Excuse me. Is that little fact supposed to scare me, T-Rex? Because it doesn't. What did scare him, though, was the thought of him losing his car that took him a while to get. Because Biggie authorized pink slips now. Before, he wasn't worried. He needed to be very careful against this powerhouse. Scorpion heard stories of his ability to be able to drift muscle cars. That made T-Rex twice as deadly. If he oversteered or cut the corner, T-Rex might get an edge. Keep that skyline warm for me, and try not to scratch my car up. And try not to scratch my car as you try and keep up. What am I supposed to do with that hunk of junk? Oh, piece of junk. Johnny fired back defensively. All right, Johnny, I like your racing spirit, but instead of running y'all's mouths, how about we grind some gears and put y'all's mouth where your money is? Let's race. An eruption of cheers exploded around them. Hoots and hollers and echoed. Racers ready! Biggie pointed a flag to the T-Rex. He gripped the steering wheel and revved his engine, and then nodded. Page 100. Big 3. Racer ready! Biggie pointed the left flag at Scorpion. He gripped the steering wheel, then took a deep breath. He slowly exhaled, then nodded. Biggie raised the flag above his head. Get set! 2 million in a Shelby Cobra, probably worth at least $500,000. Here we go. This is it, Johnny whispered. Biggie flung his flags down. Go, 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 go! T-Rex shifted into first gear as his pupils of his eyes widened from the adrenaline rush that was just dumped into his bloodstream. Adrenaline dumped into Johnny. He breathed. This is it. He focused on the road and cleared his mind of outside thoughts. He shifted into drive and hit the gas pedal. A pit bull viciously barking at the edge of its thick steel chain. A king cobra coiling back, waiting for the opportune moment to inflict a venomous death bite. Two car legends about to race each other, two legends of cars that each had a handful of stories of why they are the best in their respective classes. The racers took off into the asphalt jungle. Meanwhile, doo-doo-doo, back at Bydel and Bysel, New York City. You let him go? Why didn't you use the serum? Raiden Lee said it was the wrong time. The eye sockets of death exploded into green flames. A bony hand wrapped around Yakamoto's throat and was slammed up against the wall. Stupid mortal. It was the perfect time. Yakamoto chuckled. You don't scare me, Death. He raised his hand. He raised him higher. I will rip your soul out and eat it slowly for your ignorance. Raiden Lee rushed in when he heard what was going on with what was going on. He quickly rolled up his right sleeve and he firmly pressed one of the strange symbol-like tattoos. He muttered a few words of black magic, and the Grim Reaper dropped him and let out a demonic cry. As long as I hold this bond, you will do no such thing. Makes it stops. It burns. It burns. All right. And that is chapter 2. Bang, bang. It's only 6 to go. 6 in total. So, this is what, 3? Yeah. Next time, In the Line of Fire. Thanks for being with me, Ninja Nation.